news breaks, when news happens, Bama football on YouTube's got you covered. Period. So yeah, I appreciate the compliments because that is certainly the vision. We had to change, we had to adapt, and we're rolling with it. I want to do kind of a social media run through as we get this beautiful Thursday, January 25th rolling. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the old inundated, like, because I used to just do the shows in the evening time, but then I saw everybody started doing everything in the evening time, and then I was like, I'll go to the morning. And now people are like, oh, the morning. So I was like, I'll just go all day. And I think what's going to happen is a lot of these sites are going to either have to move to this type of formatting, but what's going to happen is they're going to have to balance giving out their information for free or living behind a paywall. And they have to live behind a paywall to pay those gigantic checks that they're collecting, right? So it's going to put everybody in a really tough spot. But look, this is the free world. This is the free market. So you have to be able to change up things to adapt. And YouTube's crushing it. You're not going to, the technology that they have in terms of the chat and in terms of, developing stuff, it's really amazing. It's a lot quicker than a lot of other, message boards or whatever. So I love it, man. Appreciate you guys being here. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Plus, you got to have the right people behind the YouTube scene, right? You can't just put up somebody behind the screen and be like, go. People have to be able to connect with that type of personality. The same thing happened to me with Dan Patrick. This was like 12, 15 years ago. I used to literally look forward to every single day with Dan Patrick. Got really comfortable with his voice, his delivery, the topics, the guests. And I always kind of had in the back of my mind that this was kind of the way that we wanted to go. Health and Wealth, what's up? 8 a.m. In Atlanta. I mean, we're going from Atlanta all the way to Waikiki, where it was 3:40 in the morning. That shows you the gravity of the show. So if you're joining us, if you're having coffee, if you're having tea, if you're having your Activia, I don't know. Like, thank you for being here. Yesterday was a hell of a day. I woke up with a lot of energy, feeling good about the direction of where things are going. I'm going to kind of run through the social media feeds. There's so many great people to follow on social media, so definitely go do that and support, all the people that are creating great content out there on the Twitter world, because I get a kick out of it. I mean, we look through Twitter over here and just laugh. I mean, at some of the items that are rolling through. So kind of started out the day with this tweet right here by Alabama Crismon Tide. They actually have one of the other bigger YouTube channels. I think they actually have more than us. They do. Their staff. Some of the people that work behind the scenes, really good people. I like AL.com. All right. This is funny from the headlines. Okay. New Alabama head football coach Kalen DeBoer won't fake Southern accent. That would go wrong for me. Now, this article was taken from Pat McAfee show. What's up? I appreciate the compliments. Bama News Network. Jeff, I got it, man. So Twitter is just basically an aggregator of different news cycles, funny things that you see online. And so yesterday, Pat McAfee was on with Coach Kalen DeBoer, and he was like, hey, are you going to start faking a Southern accent, being that you moved from the Pacific Northwest down to Alabama? Now, he's really from, the Midwest, like the Minnesota, Dakota area. And Kalen DeBoer was like, no, I don't think that'd work out too well for me. Because remember, the joke is that when Brian Kelly came here and he first was introduced to LSU, he had a fake Southern accent. It was hilarious. Like, this really happened. All jokes aside, I think Brian Kelly's done a pretty good job at LSU. He just had a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. He's going to send some guys to the NFL on the offensive side of the ball. But yeah, that was a great interview. And I continue to harp on the fact, I'm going to circle back on Coach Kalen DeBoer this morning and talk about the home run that he hit landing Ryan Williams and the impact that, and really kind of the ripple effect that I think that could have going forward in recruiting. Because when you come here to Alabama and you recruit, you got to out-recruit everybody. You got to outwork everybody. I've said this before. People here in Alabama respect hard work. They want connections. They want relationships. They want it. Think about who you're following out there. Coach Saban. So, yeah, Jarvis, I think it is a grand slam. First pitch, Parker Brailsford on first, Austin Mack on second, Jeremy Bernard on third, Ryan Williams up at the plate, right? First pitch is Texas, let it go through. Second pitch is Auburn, let it go through. Third pitch, hit it, grand slam with Ryan Williams. Feels good. Really, really good what Coach Kalen DeBoer is doing. And I see like right now he's going out and he's recruiting different class of 2025 guys. But imagine like from a PR perspective, if you're a parent out there and if you're following recruiting and there wasn't an ear that didn't hear about Ryan Williams committing to Alabama. And there wasn't a person that didn't know about the impact of Ryan Williams. And with him being able to commit and being able to land that commit, that tells Alabama Crimson Tide football fans how he can recruit, how he can maintain relationships, how he can re-recruit the room. I mean, it's a really big deal to come over here and that be your first marquee guy that you get in the door. Coach Saban was recruiting Ryan Williams. I would love to see in the background, I don't know if Coach Saban had any play in this as like an advisor that he met with him on the low. Maybe not. Not trying to take anything away from Coach Kalen DeBoer at all. I'm just saying those are the resources that Alabama has. But I also think Coach Saban is on vacation too, right? He's down there in Jupiter. Miss Terry setting up the house. How do you furnish a $17 million house? Right? That's what it was, right? The house in Jupiter? Was it 17? I mean, because I think, like, for me, if I had a $17 million house, like, I definitely want, like, my taste in there. But, like, does Miss Terry go through and, like, choose all the stuff? I know that their budget, they could get whatever, but how does that happen? All right. Other news items from the world of social media. How big was Ryan Williams committing to the Crimson Tide? Look, even Pro Football Focus. So you hear us talk about Pro Football Focus. 17 million. Thank you. 17.5. Like, how big was Ryan Williams committing to Alabama? Jonathan, you're right on that. Even Pro Football Focus, who has a giant following. Now, they provide incredible analytics for us to use. You see sometimes I pop them on the screen. They're even tweeting about Ryan Williams. 5-star Ryan Williams has committed to Alabama per Hayes Fawcett. That guy's crushing it. Williams is the number 3 wide receiver in the 2024. Who the hell is above him? And this is the crazy thing is he had to reclassify because he was in 2025 and he came in. So that shows you, like right here, he jumps into the next class and he is the number 3 prospect. Just like Will the Scout, when we were talking with him, he said that if Caleb Downs was to go in the NFL draft, he'd be like a top 10 pick right now. Yeah, some dudes just ball out, and that's just how it is. Ryan Williams is that guy. Jarvis, you're right, man. I'm going to this next graphic because I think when we look to recruiters of the year, I know a lot of people like to mess with Roll Tide Willie, who, by the way, was like had front row seats, and I saw he was meeting everybody last night at the basketball game. But I saw this from Mason at Bama Bunker. This is Jalen Mbakwe. Jalen Mbakwe, one of the recruiters of the year. I mean, and like you were saying, Jarvis, featured Jarvis's comment. He didn't flinch. He was the guy that, what was it, like 4 days ago, that said it's a lock. By the way, man, Jalen Mbakwe has been in the gym. Good for him. Saying that he's the recruiter of the year. And I know like the Roll Tide Willie stuff is fun to like talk about, and it's fun to see. But like, man, this guy was putting in the work. And I continue to think about real recognize real. Because you out there, like, you have respect for people who are putting in the work, whether it's at your job, within your family. Like, you understand, like, who's real. And I think the fact that Jalen Mbakwe and Ryan Williams played against each other in a state title game, look like they're pretty good friends, off the field. You did a really great job. And I think one of the selling points continues to be at Alabama. Thank you. This is exactly it. I was about to say this in a different way, Jarvis. But, you're saying savages want to play against savages, but like iron sharpens iron, right? The best play against the best. Look at us, Jarvis. We have Saban in our brain. And you can still sell that at Alabama. Come play against the best every single day. Ryan Williams versus Jalen Mbakwe is going to be a daily matchup here at the University of Alabama. All these guys competing against each other, that's not going to stop because Saban left. So if you want to go to the NFL, if you want to get conditioned for the NFL, then you come over here to Alabama and you play against the best. And I get it. SEC teams are loaded all across the country, but, there's something different here. And a lot of that has been Saban, but there's not a lot of programs in Division I that they can say that they have sent as many first-round draft picks as Coach Saban, as the University of Alabama. There's a reason that all of those first-round draft pick jerseys hang inside the media room. I see it every single time I go. Come be a legend. Yeah, where legends are made. It seems like this team already gelling like a felon. See, and this is it. I like this because I think that when adversity hits, there's only two ways that you can go, right? You can kind of cower and say that the world is against you, play your fiddle, be upset, the world is against me, nothing's going right. Or you can take a step forward and say, okay, look, we have guys going out. What's up, JJ? I appreciate you being here. Good morning. You can say, okay, we have guys leaving. We have guys going out. Who is here? Raise your hand. Do you want to play here? Do you want to be a part of this team? What type of goals do you want to have as a team? What type of goals do you want to have individually? And if it is more about the cash in the bag, then go somewhere else right now. And that is fine. Right? And these players they all know each other. They're all boys, which is cool. But like, if you want to be like a team, then let's be a team. And one of those guys that showcased that last night at the basketball game, and this is from the next round, who's also crushing it. These guys are doing a really good job. Next round kind of broke away from their mothership. And they're doing their own thing. And last night they tweeted out this photo of Milroe. I'm sure you guys saw it. And look at this. Lank. That's what that means. That's exactly what that means. Okay. And what does lank mean? We need a lank emoji. T. We need a lank emoji. We certainly do. And if you want to be a part of the team, and if you still want to lank, then you roll through and you get in the gym and you get ready for the fourth quarter program, which is starting here in February. Jalen Milroe hasn't announced like a message that he's coming back. You don't need to. This is it. If this isn't a big enough message, then I don't know what is. Yeah, I'm surprised too. We have a lang emoji, but we don't have a lank emoji. We need a lank emoji. Put what do they say in the restaurant industry? Put on the fly. I used to work in the restaurant. So when I was 15, I was a busboy. So I know about on the fly. So get that up. On the fly. On the fly, we need a lank emoji, please. Or I could add it too. It's just black text. What's up, Lennox? I appreciate you. Yeah, it is a good picture. By the way, the photo is from the next round. That's who scooped it yesterday. And I love it. And it says a lot to me. It says, and what does LANK stand for? Let a naysayer go, right? And here we are going forward. Going forward with this team. Yeah, Coleman Coliseum was packed. And they said that following the game. We played the press conference here last night. And Nato said that the energy that was at Coleman Coliseum spilled over. I saw that Nate Oates is 6-3 versus Bruce Pearl. That's what's up, man. He needed a Ricola. Remember that commercial? The throat lozenge. Yeah, Nate Oates needed one of those. He always needs one of those, right? Wow is right. Ricola. You know that commercial they had, like they were like in Switzerland with one of those like huge horns. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, right, Eric? Ricola. Those are like those commercials that stayed in your mind. Like that one and what was another one, like by Menon. By Menon. What was that? Am I saying it right? By Menon. Do they really? They still have that commercial or the Ricola one? And the funny thing is last night when we were watching that press conference, the basketball game, I didn't know. Like I told everybody, I was like, "Hey, you guys want to watch NATO's press conference?" And everyone was like, "Yeah, let's watch it." Oh, that was funny. This one was a funny commercial too. This one came out around like the Super Bowl. What's up? Yeah, no. I am not afraid of George. What's up? You're showing your age, bro, for sure. Dude, I'm 40, man. It's crazy. And I feel really good about it. And I'm really grateful to be able to be 40. I know a little bit of stuff. And I always heard that you don't know, you know what, before you're 40. Yeah, but I'm 40. I turned 40 in Costanza. I turned 40 in November. Yeah. So November 22nd is my birthday. Man, I wish I was 40, right? 40 is a new 30. Maybe Costanza. Man, I love Seinfeld too. Chill, Kyle. You're showing your age. It's all good, man. I don't care. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I am happy with where I am in my life. And I know that, time goes faster the older you get. I get it. It's fine. I'm cool with it. I mean, I read a long time ago, not a long time ago, but like 3 or 4 years ago, I read Plato's Republic, and it was talking about, like, Plato was talking about, like, there's beauty in age. There's beauty the older that you get because it's better than the alternative. So like we don't necessarily have to look at getting older as a negative. And I think sometimes in society we see like once you get old, you lose your fastball, whatever. Right, Saban. I don't feel that way. I mean, I think that I've been able to, kind of grow from my experiences. I've surrounded myself with some really good people, some really good men, talk to people, and you keep your circle closer, right? People who are more important to you. And yeah, you could definitely have a midlife crisis. I think those types of things, they happen, right? So, I think, no, I just, I feel good about where I'm at. But last night, man, Jaylen was flexing on him. And I appreciate, just kind of seeing him because there's so many Jalen Milroe people, like even after like what they did last year. I mean, there's still a lot of people on him. Still a lot of people that don't believe in him, don't believe in his skill set. We've kind of gone back and forth. You have different people calling AJ from New York that they don't want him as the quarterback. I'm sure there's a lot of people now, higher percentage, that want to see a quarterback battle, that want to call for Dylan Lonergan, who's a baller, or Ty Simpson, who's a baller. But the thing about it is, I mean, if they can build an offensive line and a system to where they could protect him, if they can have a center to get the ball to him, let's see what he can do. I think his ceiling is still really high. Yeah. I mean, Ryan Grubb's going to be the coach. Oh, alert, alert, alert. We got the lank emoji. Can you guys hit the lank emoji? Let's see how it looks. I think Jalen's going to only get better too. They don't make him like they used to, Kyle. That's for sure. Kyle, you still have a decade. Yeah, and this is kind of the thing too. And we're going to find this out, Dizzy. I think it's more about his reads. And that's one of the things that people want to, they want to press on too. How is he going to deal with the reads specifically in the system? Because I think when you have this system, while they are going to be creative and they're going to get players the football, people also want to see how he can make his reads. And that was something that Michael Penix really flourished in as a quarterback. That's why I threw, how many yards did he throw for? Like 4,000 yards or something like that? Yeah. So there's always going to be, you gotta be critical of the quarterback. You're always going to have a microscope on you, and specifically coming after quarterbacks like Tua, Mac, Bryce, right? Jalen Milroe. I mean, look at that quarterback, Mount Rushmore here at Alabama. It's wild. Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. You're watching the morning show. Is this live with Kyle? How about that? Is this live with Kyle? We got a is this live emoji, and then we have a link emoji that just dropped. I'm actually going to go check it out. How do you get to use these emojis? Well, you have to become a fan funder of the YouTube channel. How you do that is you go to Bama Football on YouTube. If you're on a computer, you go up to where there's join, subscribe. You hit the join button as low as $2.99 to support the YouTube channel. We appreciate you guys. It's as low as 10 cents a month. Again, we also, super chats, continue to pump those up. All that helps us sustain our business model right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I pay the coaches every Friday. Works just like any other business. There was one time though in my career where I used to get paid on just once a month on the 30th. And that's when I work for Rivals. They pay you like on the back end. But I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So I appreciate you guys thinking about becoming a fan funder. And what we're going to also start doing is for fan funders, we're going to start putting some behind the scenes, some film breakdowns with Will, a lot of stuff for fan funders. So I appreciate you guys thinking about becoming a fan funder. Let's continue to drive that number up. Hit the hyperlink above the screen. What's up, Kyle? Kalen DeBoer about to run it back for sure. I mean, that was definitely a big statement yesterday by being able to get, oh man, you are really blessed. That's a beautiful family you got there. Oh, yeah, I like that link. Maybe we can spread out the word. No, that looks good. Yeah, I like that link. You have a really nice family, Cam. You should be really proud of that picture. I'm sure you are. That's why it's in your avatar, right? Okay, this was another photo. This was a photo that the Bryant-Denny Stadium on Twitter posted, but the photo was actually from AL.com because I saw the photo too, but the original owner of this photo is from AL.com. So let me walk you through it because this photo was fire too last night. This is at the basketball game. And so on the left, you have Malachi Moore, okay? Malachi Moore has some gear out on Yay Alabama. If you want to support him and Yay Alabama, go to Yay Alabama and check that out. I'm not affiliated with Yay Alabama. I'm not affiliated with any of the university at all, but I think the players should be taken care of. So if you want to go support them, that's up to you, and I'm sure that those players would really appreciate it. You also have Damani Jackson, and people have been talking about Damani Jackson, and this is probably one of the photos that has been most impactful because we really haven't heard about Damani Jackson or really about Jalen Milroe. Like some players aren't going to make announcements that they're like locked in or bought in or whatever. They just don't have to because they're in their craft. They might not have social media. They might not, give a F about what we think. They just come into play. So Malachi Moore, repping the Sox hat on your left. You have Damani Jackson with the black top in the middle. And then you have Jalen Milroe on the right. That's a tight photo. Nice work, AL.com. Ted Turner wants a Bama Blitz shirt. I'm sure they have those with Roll Tide Willie. And I think Portnoy at Barstool is doing something with Roll Tide Willie too. I didn't really read too much into it, but I saw that he has some gear that if you buy gear through him, it goes back to support Roll Tide Willie, something like that. Oh, Kalen's talking about the basketball coach last night. So last night, if you were with us in the evening time, I asked everybody about the Nate Oates. I was like, who wants to watch the Nate Oates interview? And so we put it up, and then the players came on, and I was like, up next is Nate Oates. But I didn't know that Bruce Pearl was going to come. So Bruce Pearl came up to the podium, and everybody started laughing. And I put up a question. I was like, Coach, how does it feel? What are your thoughts on Ryan Williams coming to Alabama over Auburn? And then we all started posting questions to Coach Pearl, and we started posting them on the screen. Jarvis is saying, did you see Ryan Williams' commitment video on his IG? He has over 54,000 views. Yo, not surprised by it at all. I mean, the players are the content creators, right? That's where everybody's getting their news from. So the players post the news, and then whoever is able to scoop social media faster, then they aggregate the news. But like the players, like that's why you got to follow the players, because they tell you exactly what's happening. None of this stuff has been exclusive, right? Like that we've seen. It's all free. All of it, right? There's no one generating like free video or premium videos. All of it's free. All of the news is free. Yeah, you're right. Get it straight from the source. And like people who say like that they have like inside scoop and stuff. And there's some people for sure. But other than that, there's just the players. But fire photo for sure. See what else I wanted to run through. There's a couple other photos that I wanted to run through this morning. Oh, this was a dope photo too. This is from this was from the University of Alabama. They tweeted this last night. So during halftime, you have Greg Burns on the left, Malachi, and then you have the Iron Bowl trophy, and then you have Jalen Milroe. And what's dope about this is they gave this trophy to the guys during the actual game against Auburn, which clearly, makes sense, but also like what a burn. So yesterday, Auburn lost what? 3 times? Let's think about this. Okay, Ryan Williams commits, and then he watches Alabama. So Ryan Williams commits to Alabama over Auburn. Okay, dub. Then Alabama basketball beats Auburn, dub. And then 3, he cancels his visit to Auburn. That's crazy. Oh, man. Wild. Which also makes it a tougher landscape to be exclusive. This is why it's good to help support a brother and the coaches if you can, for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so another thing is I want to, and I'll be transparent with you guys. I want to bump up those fan funder numbers to 3,000 so we could have some extra cash in here, because I want to go after Alabama players to be able to pay them for interviews. I'm like, what? You got to pay them for interviews? We're going to get our natural media availabilities with the players this year for sure. But as I said last year, I just wasn't in the spot financially to be able to afford an interview with Jalen Milroe, to be able to afford an interview with like Terrion Arnold, right? Like it costs to get these players on. And I think you see, some of the other companies out there that have been able to have sponsors to be able to pay the players. So I want to be able to have the players come in and chop it up for sure. I think it'd be dope. I mean, the players have to have, good morning, Marcus. I appreciate you being here. Now the players have to have the right, personality to be on here, because a lot of the players have to go through like media training. Can you imagine being like 17, 18 years old? Like it takes time to get comfortable with this. With that said, there's other players who are just ready to go, that are chill. I think I have an ability to make people feel comfortable. And I think you saw that from my interviews with the players out at the Rose Bowl. Like that'd be fire on like a weekly basis. So that's also what I want to be able to do with some sponsors. This interview with Devontae Smith is sponsored by your business. So if you want to talk about sponsorship inquiries, how you can help get behind that, Bama football on YT at Gmail. Or if you're just super chatting, or if you're becoming a fan funder, those are different ways that we can add on, so I can have more arsenal to go up to these players and present some offers to them to have them back here at Bama football on YouTube. Maybe one of the players hosts. I don't know. This is all, maybe one of the players guest hosts for like 30 minutes and takes your questions. Right. And that would only be to people who are fan funders, because then you could eliminate the trolls. Damn. That's a damn good idea. T, can you write that down? Exclusive interview with players, but for fan funders only, so that eliminates the trolls. And then we just basically, feature the questions on the screen, but from fan funders. That would be fire. Coming up with ideas on the fly. I literally, because I'm an idea tank. I used to sleep with a notepad by my bed because I come up with ideas and I just like write them down. But right now what I do is if I have an idea, I email myself and then I read the idea like the next morning. But I think that idea is some trolls got gifted memberships though. Yeah, but if we posted, we wouldn't just put the player here by themselves. Like I would be facilitating the interview, and then I could go through and then push the questions on the board, and then we could talk and do some Q&A with the players. That's kind of how it would. The On3 merge never made sense for me. For you, you're in a spot that there isn't much an On3 could offer that you can't already do on your own. The On3 never made sense for me. For you, you're in a spot that there isn't much on On3 could offer you. They can't already do on your own. Yeah, I mean, look, the On3 is kind of like what I refer to like the mothership, or maybe that's Rivals. I think it's going to be Noah Carter, by the way, Joe. But I think like, I'm glad to be independent because I felt like I'm built to be independent. I feel like I'm a business owner in that sense. And I feel that when people are just like forcing, not to say that they ever did, but I sometimes feel that micromanagement it eliminates creativity. And, there was a lot of people out there that didn't think that I could run my own YouTube channel. I promise you this. This is 1,000,000% true. I was asked to take down the Kyle Henderson show. They were like, nobody wants to hear from you. Nobody wants a Kyle Henderson show. Nobody wants to call in. Nobody wants your name. You're not big enough. Nobody wants a show with you. And I was like, I don't know. Like, so I believe in myself, and that's why we're here today. But yeah, there was we have T on and off. So, this is a job for her too. She's more than an intern. Like she works here, but she also is in school. And anybody who's had their master's degree knows how daunting that is. There's some high level people that said that I couldn't have my own show. They said that I didn't have the personality to have it. They didn't say that the Kyle Henderson name was big enough. Not that I was trying to make it all about myself anyways. I was like, damn, I want to have a call-in show because I feel that people like to call in and talk to me. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. They're like, nobody wants to hear what you have to say. So, F them, right? You don't want to believe? You don't want to be here? Go somewhere else. See, Bailey, you're getting your master's now too. So the grind that's going on, right? Yeah, I appreciate it, Stephen. Thank you so much, man. No, man, I feel it, man. Look, I mean, whatever, There's a lot of people that believe in this channel and this show. Guess how many? 103,000 people. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah. And I'm not afraid to say, I'm not afraid to sugarcoat it because I'm real. I can say whatever I want and I'm going to be respectful in doing that. But I'm not afraid to say that there's a lot of people that didn't believe in the product that didn't want to be here. Like that is fact. Seriously. There's people that didn't want me to be. When I was last year, I reached out to everybody trying to link up with them. I'll show you my inbox sometime. I reached out to everybody, 24/7, AL.com, On3, Rivals. I asked every single one and everybody turned me down. I promise you. That happened. Did I have a terrible year last year? Yeah, I did. I went through some heavy shit. Why did I go to this area? I did, but it was up to me to get back on track, to, you know, get back going. It was up to me to surround myself with positive people. It was up to me to be more accountable, to take on more. You know, and I did that. That's why I like the adversity that Alabama's going through right now. I get it. It sucks. And I think Alabama, kind of same thing for me, man. Like, it's kind of interesting, coming like same parallels, like 14 years of like perfection. And then one year, you know, or something happens and you have to either sink or swim. And Alabama right now had a short-term bumpy road. And I know there's been, you know, bumpy times before Nick Saban, but you have to adapt. You have to change it up. And it's really amazing that Coach Kalen DeBoer is able to, you know, win a lot of fans over so quickly. Because Kyle heard about fried bologna sandwiches. No, you know what? We were talking. Thank you. Yeah. Remaining steadfast is very important. I'll talk to my son about that. It's kind of like always being even. Now, don't get me wrong. I get stressed out. You know, there's things that I, you know, go through just like everybody else, but, you know, here for it. Kyle, logged onto the channel via computer last night and your banner still says 95K. Yeah, I'm trying to update that banner, but like on Canva that I use, I'm having trouble updating that banner because a lot of people have been saying that it's not reading right. So I'm working on that. We don't have like a graphics department in-house. Like T and I make the graphics ourselves. We like screenshot them to each other. So we need a better way. James, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. No, but when somebody was here, Kyle, I would like to see collabs. You do some collabs with Justin, the Bama Standard. Would you do collabs? Yeah, I'm up for collabs for sure. You know, I do different things. It has to make sense for the channel overall, but yeah, I'd be open to collabs and, you know, doing. I mean, I rap with the guys from Orange Bloods. Here's my email: Bama Football on YouTube, YT at the end. I like rapping with the guys for Orange Bloods. They do a really good job. So, no, I appreciate it. Thanks for being with me this morning. Thursday, January 25th. And I take calls and, you know, I talk about Alabama football, but I also I want to talk about life. I want to talk about, you know, what's on the grill, what's funny on social media. You know, that's the direction. I think people like that. I think you can, you know, to me, I think you can throw in your headphones. You could have it in the background, and I think you could just rock with it. So, and the call-in show is a huge part of it for sure. I like the call-in show. I really like it. I think it's I love the different points of view. And my goal on that is to listen. I really want to hear like what you have to say when you call in. I'm gonna fire up the call-in line here in a little bit. And when you call in, you know, be respectful of the time, make your points, let's have some dialogue, and then you move in. What's your story about taking over this channel? Love your work. So I started the channel from zero back in 2017? And I saw that there needed to be a space for a YouTube channel. Now I cut my teeth in New Mexico. I own my own business in New Mexico for 12 years covering high school football. And came over here and I was like, man, there's so much talent in this market, but I think from YouTube standpoint that we could do something. So then long story short, one of the videos that got us up there was a Colin Sexton video. You can go look it up. It was First Look at Colin Sexton. And that video blew up. And then we just started kind of adding on to it with player highlights in terms of like practice footage, stayed consistent, Nick Saban's press conference. Now we came a long way. You can go back and watch some of my call-in shows from like 6 years ago. And then a lot of people kind of caught on the wave. They saw what we were doing. Probably same thing with this one. I wouldn't be surprised if other people right now are trying to put things in place to have linear television like this. But the problem is those people live behind a paywall and they have to make their living behind like a paywall. So you either adapt or you die. But there's a lot of people on here, and now people know that when news breaks, Bama football on YouTube. So then we sold our business. I didn't own it fully, so we sold it. I was part of Rivals at that time. Sold it to On3. Things didn't work out with On3. I took a mutual separation, left there. Have all the respect for those guys. Those guys have an amazing product. Rivals was really good to me, but I think On3 is certainly the wave in terms of their overall technology, their database, their NIL evaluations, and what Shannon has going on there is amazing. Okay, 100%. But I became independent, and now I own the YouTube channel fully. And this is the vision. I'm a business owner myself. I've been a business owner before, so I'm confident in my abilities to lead a business. I know how to manage people. I know how to work with people. And why Bama? Well, I got an opportunity to move over here from New Mexico to run from the editorial site Rivals, the Rivals Alabama site. So that's where. So not from here, but been here for 7 years. So have a little bit of the South in me now. All right. There was a couple more things on social media that I wanted to run through, and then we'll take your calls right here at Bama Football on YouTube. I'm going to be on until 10 a.m. This morning, and then I got Ty Hayes, and then I got the Smook Scoop. So as you guys saw yesterday, Jim Harbaugh is leaving for Michigan. Now, this is important for many different reasons. One of the biggest reasons is the transfer portal is now open for Michigan for 30 days. From what I understand, Michigan is certainly going to make a quick move. And they have to. Why wouldn't they? I think they have the coach in place to be able to be the guy after the guy. But I think what it means for Michigan is Jim Harbaugh's gone, and now they're going to feel the effects of the transfer portal, that 30-day window. Will it be as drastic as it was with Alabama? I don't think so, because classes are in session. However, like, the transfer portal is coming for you at some point or another. So I think even if they make the hire, which will be Moore, who is their offensive coordinator, during this next transfer portal window, players aren't going to be happy. They're not going to be buying into the system. And if it doesn't impact Michigan right now, I think it will impact them sooner or later. But if I'm Courtney Morgan, and you're like, well, who is Courtney Morgan? Courtney Morgan is the director of player personnel here at the University of Alabama. It's called the GM position. Reports to Kalen DeBoer. Well, he has 1 million contacts at Michigan, so he could definitely be hitting up players right now based on needs, and that would be monumental if there's players that fit Alabama's model, right? But I think Michigan's about to fill it, and I don't see it being as big as what happened here at Alabama, but I guess we'll see. I mean, Jim Harbaugh leaving, it's going to cause shakeup. And then on top of that, what is the ripple effect going to be, right? Meaning, if it isn't Moore who takes over for Michigan, is it going to be Brian Kelly? Brian Kelly, the head football coach, at LSU. See, I don't buy this is going to happen. Barbie, I'm kind of with you. Let's see this. The Wolverines, Chris Bala said, Jerome Moore will be named the 21st head coach of Michigan football, but it will take 7. See, this is how I'm seeing it. They're not going to have like this outside coaching hire. I think it's just right here. And I think this too, Q, is the buyout for Kelly is too big. So you're going to have your guy after the guy. They're going to turn the keys over, and let's see what Michigan can do. He coached Moore coached in 3 games last year, right? All right. There was one other one, a couple others. Go follow Jamarcus Shepard. He's on Instagram. Coach Shepard. At Coach Shepard. You see pretty much all of the Alabama coaching staff updating their new titles. And I saw yesterday, one of the cool ones was that Freddie Roach, I'm going to show on the screen now. he updated his title, but actually, like, his title has been updated. Assistant head coach / defensive line coach, Freddie Roach. Killer upgrade for him in terms of like a title, and it's much needed, to be honest. I mean, he's from here, played here, part of the fabric of Alabama football. Retaining him and Robert Gillespie was really important. Kyle, I have an idea for app that's sports related. Can I DM you? Yeah, man, you could email that email that I posted on the screen a couple times. But yeah, Freddie Roach having that elevated title, going to get elevated in pay. We talked about it yesterday. He's making $725 a year. You know, big ups to him. There were some people that would talk about Freddie, be like, he can't recruit. I've always thought he did a really good job and a good job developing players too. They need to hire Roll Tide Willie as an analyst. Roll Tide Willie might be hired by the university. I mean, he's crushing it. The university has just completely fell in love with him. Everybody seems to have fallen in love with him. What is he up to? Like, is he up to 400,000 Twitter or followers on Instagram? People love him. People are gonna like what they want to like. So, yeah. Here we are. I think I had a couple more before I take your calls. Can you get the call in line posted, T? I'd appreciate that. Thank you very much. Appreciate you behind the scenes and appreciate you watching the show right here at Bama Football on YouTube. Headlines we're tracking today. Call line is open, 205-850-1994. I'll take your calls this morning. Following a gigantic day of news, right? Alabama basketball defeats Auburn last night. Auburn was number 8 coming in. And I said this earlier on the show. I didn't realize that Nate Oates was now 6-3 versus Bruce Pearl. That's like the most underrated stat that I think I've heard. People asking about point number 5 on the trending headlines. And is Noah Carter next? It seems like that could definitely be the case. We've kind of been waiting this whole week for Noah Carter, to be honest. So I think at some point in time it'll come. 6'4", 240 pounds. Again, call line is open, 205-850-1994. Man, it rained and rained and rained. Jeff, Jeff's asking, do I think Noah Carter will commit today? I mean, yes and no. I'm going to be on the road today. So I'm going to say yes. If I ever have to travel somewhere, news happens. I promise you. So be expected news today at some point. Now, if I get into an airplane, major news happens. But I'm not getting onto an airplane today. What's up, Corey? Good morning to you. Call line is open. We'll put the call line in the call in box too. 205-850-1994. All right. Smook, what's up, man? Good morning, Smook. Smook will be joining us today as well. Good morning. Hey, so what's up? Kyle, after watching Damani Jackson's tape, I'm not high on him. He was often out of position. Yeah, a lot of people have said that for sure. I think when he comes in, no news on Jabbar Muhammad, Sam. I think when he comes in, people are really excited about the fact that he gets to work with Alabama's defensive secondary, right? Meaning he's going to work with Maurice Lindquist in terms of being a defensive back. And Lindquist is a coach who coached for the Cowboys, who was the head football coach at the University of Buffalo, played in the league, I believe. And a lot of people say he's responsible for kind of what Trayvon Diggs did. So maybe he just needs to be coached up. But I've heard that before regarding Damani Jackson. But I mean, shoot, the dude is a 5-star. Can I ask you yesterday too, Morty? What's up, man? Thank you so much. So on those individual shows that I have for the coaches, kind of building out the coaches shows, it seems like kind of that's the way that we want to roll with it, to have like their own shows about their own topics. So we're going to roll with that. This is really like a beta test, even for me, for like this, these next couple of months, for this first quarter, let's call it, to see what we can do. We want to add more content creators. We want to bump up that fan funder goal. We want to hit the super chats hard every day and make sure that we're putting content creators on the channel that makes sense. So that's kind of part of our programming. So the shows that we currently have, Is This Live? Is that my show? Is This Live with Kyle? The Colin show. Yeah, Bailey, I mean, we have lives every day. Yeah, it's wild. Is This Live with Kyle? Then we got Around the Table Sports with Ty Hayes. And then we got the Smook Scoop. We got a fan's reaction with Jarek, who, by the way, killed it yesterday. Definitely go check out his work, Jan Sports. And then Facts with Sean. Facts with Coach Sean. And then that's what we need to title it, Facts with Coach Sean. And then we have the late night with Smook. Yeah, a lot of people have been here every day. It's became like a thing, I mean, yeah. Yep. Yeah, this is the wave. Details with Sean. No, I said facts because he always says facts. He says that facts. All right, cool. We got the we got callers from 256 601 256 571 702 coming up next right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here, rocking with us every single day. And remember, when news breaks, think Bama Football on YouTube. When news breaks, think Bama Football on YouTube. All right. So Bama Football, I'm going to put my Twitter, Bama YouTube. That's on Twitter. And on Instagram, if you want to get fired up, is Mr. Kyle Henderson. And it's basically kind of just like my workouts, or I say some, inspirational stuff. You know how I talk. And then over here, my email, this is my email. Oh, okay. Throw it up and then throw up the email. And then I'm starting to put more content for our fan funders as well. Little nuggets, scoops, and I want to feature some of Wheel of Scouts content behind there as well. So if you're a fan funder for only $2.99, I like that, Coach. The truth is in the details. Oh, that's good. He always says that. I like that. The truth is in the details. That's good. T, can you write that down too? Yeah. The truth is in the details. Good. Hey, Kyle, can you pull up the roster of talent rankings on 247 Sports? Yeah, we could definitely do that during the show. Appreciate it. Okay. All right, let's take our first caller, 256. Let's go. Hey, thanks for being patient. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
This is Daryl.
Coach, what's up, man? I appreciate you being patient, man. Welcome to the show and take it away.
Man, just glad to see you as usual, digging and being persistent and staying with it, because things are moving fast. We talked about this last week. I don't know if you remember, I said it's not over till it's over.
Yeah.
Everything is not going to go our way, but everything is not going to go the other way either. And I looked at some stuff on Coach DeBoer talking about his relationship with Nick Saban. He says, I'll be honest with you, during this recruiting and settle in period, I've called Coach Saban so many times I can't even imagine how many times. I don't even know the number that I called him. Mm-hmm. So we have the resources, mm-hmm. and we have a living resource in Coach Saban. And I remember I said this. I said, I do not believe Coach Saban will stand by play golf, drive his Ferrari, and just let the program go to the dogs. I don't believe that, and he's going to be involved as much as he can be involved, as much as he's invited to be involved. And I also like the fact that Coach DeBoer has reached out to the Alabama alumni, the ex-players, and invited them to come home and support the program. So I like that also. And I think he's doing an excellent job. I think that, one thing about people are always going to, they're going to criticize excellence. And they try to pull it apart, pull it down, throw mud on it. But at the end of the day, you might get hit with a few mud balls. You might get hit with some trash. But just keep on keeping on, and keep our standards where it needs to be, and we will survive, and we will exceed people's expectations next season. I really believe that, because again, like you said, the roster's stacked. All we got to do is get those gems, polish them up, and turn them into diamonds.
Daryl, let me ask you something. In regards to what Coach Kalen DeBoer has done so far, which isn't a lot. But, I mean, you look to the first four guys that he has added to, the team in terms of recruiting, and I understand he still has to sign Ryan Williams. I am fully aware of that. But think about this. These are monumental pieces that he's brought in so far. Parker Brailsford, an immediate fix that was much needed, and the most highly coveted wide receiver in the country, he's able to get a recommitment from him. What are your thoughts about Coach Kalen DeBoer? And I'm asking you, chat, too. Did anybody watch the McAfee episode yesterday? Did anybody watch him on Feinbaum? Look, he's really polished. I don't think he's just blowing smoke. I think he is genuinely like a genuine guy. I think he understands where he's at. And I think he's off to a hell of a start. Coach, your thoughts on Coach Kalen DeBoer in his first, 2 weeks?
His first 2 weeks have been magnificent. From the moment he stepped off the plane to see about 500-600 people to greet him, the way he embraced the legacy and the history of the University of Alabama, and that makes a lot of people mad. That's all y'all talk about is national championship. Yeah, because if you're not playing for the championship, what are you playing for? And so I think he's hit a grand slam home run. And I think right now he's up to bat with 2 outs and 3 on, and he's ready to swing for the fences again. And so when you look at the fact that the guys that he brought in, now, let's be honest, McLaughlin, Nick Saban was loyal to him at a fault. Our fault, Coach Saban, because when you can't even get the first fundamental of football, the ball got to get back to the quarterback. When you can't even snap the ball or be sure to snap the ball, even, go back to the Auburn game, go back to the first game of the season, go back to the game at the last play of the game at Michigan. You couldn't even get a snap back to Milroe to run the play as it should have been run. And so, he's got that. And a lot of people say, well, he's undersized. Well, I'll give you an undersized center who was an All-American at and I'm talking about under Nick Saban, William Vallejos. He was undersized, but he got the job done. He was a great technician. He knew leverage. He understood how to use his weight, when to push, when to pull. His footwork was great. So undersized centers, they can have a place. And so I think, and then the receiver that he brought in, you need possession receivers at the goal line.
Yep.
You in the red zone, you need possession receivers. You need possession receivers to move the ball. 7, they may not get 20 yards, but they can get you 7 or 8 yards. Yep. And there's second down and 1, or second down and 2. So I mean, the